that. I'll pull out. Oh, should I'm gonna swap these. What's up, Doug? Say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, move this way. So it's okay. So first of all, I want you to you're the 2012 world champion. That was I hear a lot smaller tournament than this one was.
True. There were 25 people there at that one, and there's what 94 here today.
Yeah, we've had some drops. We had 94 players at first, and that's incredible. We have 113 people watching us right now, by the way. Yeah. First thing I want to talk about, and where maybe he'll hop in with us in a moment, but you can. Yeah, Doug is saying hello. Doug has more loyal fans than I do, I bet. You were in the Navy. You served overseas for a time, as did Brendan.
Yeah, Brendan. He's in the Army though.
Oh, and just pointing over, but that led you to let him fly. It appears, and that's what brought you here. You have a really interesting relationship with Brendan. And I know we keep bringing him up. He's finishing up the tabulation for his round. Yeah, you can step in, James. We don't have a lot of room, so you probably just stand out of frame. But and then Brendan will be joining us here in a moment. But talk about Let Him Fly and what brought you here to our tournament.
Well, back in 2012, I noticed there was a member on the boards named Instant Aquitas. It was very, very adamant, very passionate about the game. And trouble is, he'd never actually played it. He was always on the boards. He was writing on the boards and just always talking about the game, strategies, etc., etc. And here he is right now. And but he'd never actually played the game. And the reason he hadn't played it was because he was in Afghanistan at the time. So what I did is when I got my Wave 2 shipment in from Miniature Market, I sent one of every Wave 2 ship, and then I'd had one of every Wave 1 ship. And I sent all of that with a core set and extra dice. Right. Okay.
It was the core set and one of every expansion from Wave 2 and Wave 1.
Plus, I sent him, some card sleeves and some token holders, which and a map, obviously, so him and his buddies could play. And yeah, and I still love looking at the pictures, of him and his buddies playing. It gets me.
Yeah. When it happened, I mean, when I first opened the box, I was only expecting the core set, and because I was like, oh yeah, sure, like that sounds like a great idea. And then the entire thing came down. So the very first night, instead of just having like the normal regular 100-point game, there was about 9 or 12 of us inside of this small cramped room, just basically picking 2 ships each and just rolling dice against each other. And it was extremely fun, and it's something that a lot of the people in the company really love to do, and it almost became a staple for most of our Sundays, just playing all day while we were on standby. So we'd start at like 10 in the morning and end at like 2 in the morning. So almost the entire time.
I mean, and being in the Navy myself, I know what it's like being away from home and not having, having essentially what you need are time killers. Things to do, things to occupy your mind, occupy your time. Because you're going to be working part of the time, but the rest of the time you're going to be off, and you can't just go down to the local game store. So I just figured I'd send that to them, and I mean, I know what it's like being away from home, for so long, and I know what it means to have, this game, overseas and being able to play, because they had no way of getting it. So, I sent it to them and got it to them, and that's, I did that myself in 2013, and then in 2014, I had, I essentially made it a community-wide program, and the community stepped up, and I've sent 3 packages off so far. The first one was to Afghanistan, and the second one was to a submariner, and the third one was to a carrier, aircraft carrier. And packages of every ship to date. So enough that people could that people play this game as well. I've got more ships. I've got more packages ready to go. The trouble that I'm having is getting addresses. Essentially what I need are places to send these things, because I can't, like, organization like the USO or Soldiers and Angels won't give out addresses, which is understandable. And I can't really send them a package of 30 ships, because then they'll send it to 30 soldiers, which is great, but then 30 soldiers have 1 ship, which doesn't really do anything. So you kind of have to have a little bit of control with it about where they go. So honestly, what I need the most are addresses from people. If you give me an address, the Phoenix group was fantastic in getting me pretty much an entire package ready to go of 1 of every ship. So I've got that, and I've got more. Actually, I've got a shelf in my computer room that's just filled with ships and core sets and different things that to send off. And yeah, so I've got some ready to go. I just need addresses, honestly.
Can you give us an email or a Facebook page or something where people can send you addresses?
You can just go on. You can go into the Fantasy Flight Games forums, and I'm Hothie on there. Just send me a PM, or I'm Hothie@gmail.com, and it's real easy to remember. Yeah, you can send me an address there too. Yeah, and if you can get me addresses, people, I will get these ships sent out and make a lot of people happy. We are saying core set, not corset, core set, as in the X-Wing core set, which is needed to play this game.
Like putting a corset on over there probably be a little bit weird, but yeah, probably not recommended. It helps some people get to. Yeah, I mean, for everyone out there, if you know somebody in family or friend, and they're deployed, they're stationed abroad, they're not going to have as many opportunities to get into the game, or you want to be able to have them grow the game within their units, the easiest thing to do is to just get in contact with them and send them an address, because like I said, it's all there, it's ready to go, and the community has been extremely generous. Especially thinking about all the times that like they're sitting there, they're waiting for someone out there who could definitely use it, and it can make them feel really good. I know that when I opened it up, I mean, I almost was in tears. Like it was extremely generous, and it was seriously one of the nicest things that anyone could ever have done for me when I was here, or when I was over there. So, and it was also something that everyone else can enjoy. You might think it's you're sending it to one guy. Well, that one guy is part of a unit. He's part of a family. He's going to be sharing this with everybody, because I mean, let's be honest, right. You can't play X-Wing by yourself. Right. I definitely tried using Excel before the game showed up. It's almost near impossible, but
and it's a good reminder of home too. I mean, when you're overseas, you're in your own little world, and guess what? The world back here still moves on. It still goes on. So it's a good reminder of home, and just kind of sanity, actually, kind of something to wrap your mind around, and just remember to just kind of take your stress away, and kind of take everything, your mind away from the job that you're doing, which is very stressful.
I know. I was telling you, Doug, last night when I picked you up from the airport. Actually, my brother's name is Doug, and he's a naval supply officer in Japan right now, and he kind of hates his job, and this he would. I mean, no, it's just like he's always looking for new ways to occupy the time, so he doesn't have to go through the monotony of rocking back and forth on a boat in the middle of nowhere. And we'll retouch on Let Him Fly right as we wrap up. But any final thoughts before we move on to something else? Brendan, Doug? Anything?
Well, first off, thank you so much for coming out.
Yes.
I mean, So
Thank you.
So it's been a long time coming to finally meet you. I mean, when I first got back, things happen, and it seems as though every single year, like, something has to pop up and basically keep me from getting out that way. And the one thing that I wanted to do, like, so badly, was to just get a game in against you. So yeah, I know. Definitely. And it just seems like every single time something would happen, and it almost happened yesterday too. So yeah, that almost happened. So I just want to thank you for just coming out here and, just finally being able to meet you, like, face to face, and thank you in person.
Definitely, it's definitely reciprocated because I've been looking forward to meeting you as well.
One more short thing for the pair of you. How was your breakfast at the Waffle House this morning? Because I heard somebody was early and somebody else was late.
So somebody was really early. The clock inside of his hotel room was a couple hours early, apparently.
Yeah, I'll story. Yeah, it's in my hotel room. Well, I flew in here from the Midwest, which is an hour behind, and the clock in my hotel room was an hour ahead of my phone. So I just figured my phone didn't reset or whatever, and so I figured that my the hotel clock was right. So I get to the Waffle House very early. I wake up very early, and I get to the Waffle House very early, thinking that I'm right on time, but apparently I was an hour early because my phone did reset. So it is on Eastern time, and the clock at the hotel was wrong because I checked it with the Waffle House and my phone. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm here an hour early. Great. So anyway, I ended up eating breakfast and then just kind of sat around and waited for Brendan, who wasn't coming for another hour because it was my fault. I was early.
It's really funny because, I mean, last night I kind of like restaged myself. I went from where I live up north in Planaga, and I went over to Athens, and so that way my brother can also come down with me. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, well, actually, I think it was about 6 o'clock in the morning when I woke, or 6:50ish when I woke up, and it's like, all right, we got plenty of time. Then 7 o'clock, I get the text message, I'm here at the Waffle House, and I was like, on my way. It's gonna be a bit, and so yeah, but it was really nice. It was wonderful. Best chocolate chip or waffles I had in a little bit. So. Oh yeah, they are.
They're also really good if you get the pecans on them. So talk about the list you're running today. How you doing so far?
Well, I'm running my world's list of a tie swarm because last week in Minneapolis I was asked why I wasn't running a tie swarm because there were so many big turreted ships out there that a tie swarm should just be able to chew through. Yeah, I'm 0-3. Yeah, my first game I lost it on the last roll of the game. I had he had a 3-on-5 shot at me, and I needed one evade, and I got 3 blanks and 2 eyes. So, and because I was ahead on points, and he killed that ship, and he won by 12. Yeah. So, but then the second game was against Brobots with fire control system and heavy laser cannon, and he one-shotted 5 out of my 7 ties. Yeah.
One-shotted 5 out of 7.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened. And I was taking the evade action. So it's like I'm taking the evade. I should roll something to stay alive. No, one shot, gone. So anyway, and then my third round was against a Chewy dash build, and it was closer. I got dashed down to 1 hole, but it was again and I was blocking him, but his unmodified dice were just hits and crits, and this, I'm not lying, Chewy rolled an evade every single time. Every single die that he rolled with Chewy was an evade. Period. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do, but anyway, I don't want to blame dice, but yeah.
So before we get Brendan here, if anybody has any viewer questions for these two guys, feel free to throw them up, and we'll try to get to them right at the end. How are you doing today, Brendan? I just saw you had a game go to time.
Yeah. All right, so a rarity for me is having a game go to time, but right now I'm 2-1, but the first one was a bye, but that was from like the store championship win. So at least it's like good MOV on that one, but the first game was a loss, and it was against Whisper and Shirano, or no, Whisper and Kenkirk, and so I was kind of getting trying to push extra damage through on the decimator while the Phantom's doing off and flying by itself, and I ended up putting Stress West right in front of Whisper right when Biggs got killed. And so, I mean, that was kind of all she wrote. I'm running 3 X-Wings. I'm running Wedge, Wes, and Biggs. Wedge has Opportunist and R2-D2. Biggs has Experimental Interface and R2-F2. And the Wes is Wes VI R3A2. So, I mean, fairly simple, straightforward. I mean, it does fairly well against, some things, but not everything. And it just so happened that my second game was against a Dash Corrin build, and Biggs has been hanging around forever, all day, and no joke. I mean, I had 1 whole point left to do on Dash. Just couldn't catch him in my arcs. He just kept going away, and so when the game finally went to time, I had a full health Wedge because of R2-D2 and a 3-hole left Wes. So I really couldn't do much because I couldn't get him in arc. And there was a couple, I think, times where I should have probably pushed it forward and in for the kill a little bit better, but didn't really want to overcommit and lose an X-Wing a turn. So it was a modified win. So yeah, because Biggs killed Corrin at range 1.
I saw, I was talking to the viewer, like, I saw you had 2 X-Wings versus Dash, and that's really close in points. I wasn't sure.
Dash had 1 hole left at the end of the game, and Brandon wouldn't go in for the kill.
That's often how these turret games end up, is you have one big fat ship limping away at the end.
Yeah, I just couldn't get that one, I just couldn't get that close enough to get the one, arc on him to shoot while kind of, still remaining unstressed, because I had, a turn, and he's, going all around, and
doing the dash thing.
Dash is all over the place.
So the guy standing behind you, Doug, is a local blogger. He has a blog called The Tabletop General. And I brought him in here because probably a little over a month ago on the show, he played an Iman Azamine list, and he used your Slingshot article as a reference. And I was curious if, I don't know, do you have any questions for him, or something to talk about the article, or I don't know, take the mic.
Essentially, for those that don't know, the slingshot maneuver that I devised was for the Omaha Store Championship, and essentially it's if you can imagine Emin Azamine and a ship at range 3 in its front arc, okay, away from it. What Emin Azamine does is he can do a 3-turn and then use the 3-turn template and drop a proton bomb or a proximity mine. Sorry, he can drop a proximity mine on that ship that's range 3 away from him and in his forward arc. So people never expect that. People never expect that. And my goal for the Omaha Store Championship was to use it once. I used it in every single game, and I was just I'd do a 3-turn this way, then slingshot and throw a proximity mine right at somebody. So
right. So I did some research and read through that article, and it was really helpful knowing, based on the diagrams that were put together with the article, exactly where bombs were going to land based on which template I was using and what I was throwing out there. But I took the challenge just because Brandon wanted to see us using a Eamon build on the stream, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll throw something together. I flew that thing so horribly. I ran into every rock imaginable. I'm used to flying interceptors, and then I'm throwing this fire spray around and landed on every rock you could find on that map. And IG kind of carried the day on his own, truthfully. But I knew what I was doing thanks to Doug. We'll put it that way.
Maybe I should try Emin Azamine or something next week in Kansas City, which is where next regionals are going. Because obviously, what did I do? Yin Yang went 2-3 in Omaha. I'm 14-0 with Yin Yang outside of Omaha, and then in Omaha I'm 2-3. So it's it was frustrating there. And then I went to Minneapolis, and I took a Cathan IG build, and I went 3-3 there. One of my losses, Chewie had 1 hull left and lost on the last shot of the game. and because I wasn't able to kill him. And then my last game, Oiken had 1 hull left, and I wasn't able to kill him on the last shot of the game. And so yeah, that was 2 of my losses. They were close games. They were very close games. So I mean, it was fun. But I figured I'd bring TIE Swarm today and see how the TIE Swarm would do against people here, and not so well is the verdict so far. So yeah, maybe I'll try him in Asmine or something next week in Kansas City and dream something up, see how that goes.
Anything else you'd like to say, Brendan or James, to Doug, or do we see any user questions? I can't really see the screen from where I'm standing. Okay, well, Doug's keeping up with in the chat while the rest of us talk. Howie Loader, we would love to see you come into our X-Wing nights. We play every Wednesday and we stream every other Wednesday. So maybe if you drop down, you'll get to come on the show with us. We went over everything anything else for you, James?
So one of the things that I was kind of curious about, Doug, I know you're obviously big into X-Wing. Are there other games that you're active in, or other things that you've done that in previous gaming experience? Basically, what makes you so good at X-Wing?
I don't feel like I am very good at X-Wing right now, but I have been playing games all my life. I guess what makes me, I guess, unique to this game is that I'm very analytical. I have a very analytical mind, and I always have. And so I can usually try and plan things turns ahead, and try and be 2 or 3 turns ahead and think, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be here, and we'll set this shot up or whatever. Yeah, I've been playing games all my life, honestly, and obviously in the Navy played a lot of games, card games mostly. But yeah, I played the Wizards of the Coast miniatures game when they had that, and I've played a little bit of Armada, and I've played a little bit of Imperial Assault. I think I'm going to try and get more into the skirmish game with Imperial Assault, and maybe play that at Worlds this year.
I'd be really interested in getting into Imperial Assault. It seems kind of my style. Like, I'm a big D&D guy, and I really like Descent, which is kind of like the game it was based on. I don't know. Do you play D&D, Doug?
I do not play D&D. I'm not a D&D player, although I did play when Wizards of the Coast had the role-playing game, the Star Wars role-playing game. I played that. That was a lot of fun. We got a lot of great stories with that, and we played a little bit of Edge of the Empire. And so we've had some fun with that. So we do some of the Star Wars RPG stuff, but not so much with the D&D. Sorry.
So no worries. Sounds good. I don't see any more. I don't see any user questions. So why don't we? I'm gonna have Doug announce the winner of our TIE Advanced giveaway. Here, you're good. Here, you can hold the TIE Advanced, and then while I do the thing that I have to do to make it work. If anyone else wants to win a TIE Advanced, you should enter the raffle right now, because I'm about to draw winners. Oh, this is us, and this is what they're seeing. Okay.
Sorry, I hit.
We blame you, Doug. I want you to know that you blame you. Okay. Drawing in 3, 2, 1.
That's right.
Okay. You can go ahead and announce the winner there, Doug. You see his name there.
It looks to me like Monkey Lot is our winner of the TIE Advanced, which is not so good yet, but soon will be.
Yeah, we threw a TIE Advanced in there because of the Raiders coming out. And here, I'll throw up Monkey Lot won the raffle. You can, or I'm going to throw in one of these, one of our little Atlanta Hawks stickers. You can sign that. If you only, I don't know, you sign the package, then it's more valuable if it's in the package. I don't know. I don't know. No, it's kind of, yeah, Doug asked if he could sign it. I was like, I'm sure the viewer would be pleased if you would. Let me.
Sign all.
Yeah, I'll sign something. I don't care.
All right, I'll get you to sign the stickers. Everyone who wins a prize is going to get an autographed Atlanta Hawks sticker from Doug Kinney. And then, yeah, way to go, Monkey Lot. And now I have to.
They sell for nothing on eBay, by the way.
Whatevs. We like you, Doug. We think you're a cool guy. Yeah, and we might.
Sharpies.
If we have a Sharpie, we'll try. Yeah. There's one, and then we'll get him to sign some others. And I gotta draw some run up now. You guys, I need to have some the writing work to do. So you guys fill some airtime. I don't know.
Fill some airtime. Okay.
He's asking us to stop.
Yes, to stall for time. Okay. Actually, the next round is starting up soon.
Yeah, that was another thing. You want to play a game on the show? I had planned for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to play a game on the show. Hopefully, it'll go better than the rest of the day has so far. 8.5 minutes. All right. Yeah, the Atlantic guys here have some awesome shirts, which are demonstrated here by Brandon. The Atlantic Hawks, which is a takeoff of the basketball team, obviously.
Yeah, you.
Oh yeah, and I have my shirt actually too. It's back with my stuff. But yeah, it's a very cool logo, and it's a very cool idea. I like it.
Those shirts were designed by actually James. James is standing right behind us too. He's wearing his. It was designed by that handsome Nick, who's he got that nickname for coming on our show once. Anyway, I really appreciate all you guys. James, Doug, Brendan, James. I would shake your hand, but you're way over there. Yeah, we'll get some more X-Wing on in probably 10 or 15 minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you for watching, people.
Thank you very much. That was Doug Kinney, previous world champion. All right, we're really low tech and we're in a really cramped office, so I'm going to get out of the way so they can leave. But